Guys, you know how libs like to say that anyone who thinks illegals are voting, or just normal people here legally but still aren't citizens, they like to say anyone that's saying those people are voting is perpetuating a right-wing conspiracy. They tell us, don't believe your lying eyes. It isn't happening, and if it is, it's so rare it's inconsequential. Well, some conservative politicians in Minnesota decided to dig in.
So we give driver's licenses to anyone here. You don't have to be a citizen. You don't have to, which is a photo ID. So if someone comes in, they register, they have the driver's license, but they have an incorrect social or no social or whatever. So then they become incomplete. But if they walk in to vote with their driver's license, does that make them all of a sudden now okay?
Madam Chair, so the designation on the roster for someone whose registration had been incomplete, if they present the election judge with that acceptable identification document, that would clear the challenge from the roster and they would be permitted to cast a ballot.
So just to clarify, someone who is not a citizen but presents a driver's license at that point in the process could be permitted to vote.
Madam Chair, at the time of registration, as well as at the time of submitting a ballot, every voter is signing the attestation affirming their eligibility to vote, including that they meet all eligibility requirements, that they are a U.S. citizen.
Got it, so we're using the honor system. Kind of like we did when we were kids on Halloween, and there was a bowl that said, 1 candy for each child. People didn't follow it then either. If you weren't following, they're saying that in Minnesota, essentially so long as you check a box that said you're a citizen, you're good to go. They're able to vote. You know what the problem with that is? Back in 2023, Tim Walz signed this into law.
It's done.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
That's right, driver's license and state IDs for all. You don't gotta be a citizen in Minnesota to get one of those. So let's connect these dots. If you have an ID, you can vote. You don't gotta be a citizen to get an ID. And your fail-safe to ensure illegals aren't voting is the honor system. Libs, I know I'm just a conservative with a slow-moving conservative brain. Kinda seems like the logic here is a little bit flawed. Why don't you make it make sense for me?